Okay, good morning. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now we'll take next numerical problem. We are actually discussing Routh-Hurwitz criterion. Now, one more example, that is the open loop transfer function of a unity feedback control system is given by Gs equal to k by s plus 2 into s plus 4 into s square plus 6s plus 25. By applying Routh criteria, discuss the stability of the closed loop system as a function of k. We need to calculate what will be the value of k. Determine the value of k, which will cause sustained oscillation in the closed loop system. So again, we need to calculate what should be the value of k. For that, the system will observe a sustained oscillation and what are the corresponding oscillation frequencies. We need to calculate what are the oscillation frequencies corresponding to that sustained oscillation. So first we'll form the characteristic equation. That is, we know how to form the characteristic equation, that is 1 plus GSHS equal to 0. So 1 plus GSHS equal to 0 means we'll substitute GSHS is given here. GS is this one and HS is unity feedback. So obviously HS will be equal to 1. So 1 plus GSHS equal to 0 we'll substitute here and we'll simplify it. So we are getting this equation after simplification. Then we'll form the Routh array. So Routh array is again, this first coefficient is 1. Then we'll skip this S cube term. And then this will be 69, then 200 plus k. For this S cube term, this will be 12. And then we'll skip this S square term. This will be 198. So later on, we'll apply the formula for forming the Routh array, so that you know how to form this Routh array. So system will be stable. We know that all the elements of the first column should be positive, that is greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, that means this 200 plus k, this should be greater than 0. That means k is greater than minus 200. And this term, 198 minus this term, this should be greater than 0. That means k should be less than 666.25. So we have got the range, that is k should be greater than minus 200 and k should be less than minus 660, k should be less than 666.25. Okay. Now next, for the sustained oscillation, we know that if the sustained oscillation occurs, that means this is the limiting value. So if the value of k is 666.25, then obviously the system will observe the sustained oscillation. Now we need to form the auxiliary equation. So how we'll form the auxiliary equations? So we'll take above this particular row, that means we'll take this S square row, that is 52.S square plus 200 plus k equal to 0. So k is here, it is for sustained oscillation, it is this value, k is this one. So we'll substitute this. So S equal to plus minus J 4.06. So frequency of the sustained oscillation will be 4.06. Next problem is a unity feedback control system is characterized by open loop transfer function Gs equal to k into S plus 13 by S into S plus 3 into S plus 7. So this is given. Using Routh criteria, calculate the range of values of k for the system to be stable. So we need to calculate what should be the value of k. For that, the system will be stable. Check if for k equal to 1, all these roots of the characteristic equation of the above system have damping factor greater than 0.5. Okay. So first we need to calculate what should be the value of this k. So again, we'll form the characteristic equation. Let us calculate this one. This one you please calculate. This first part, quickly you calculate. You calculate this one. We quickly calculate. And tell me what should be the value of K. Hello, are you getting this result? Hello, this one,
Yes, sir.
this one. This one you have got?
Yes, sir.
So now you calculate what should be the value of K. You calculate.
So 0 to 7.
0 to 7. No. You again cross check. Cross check.
सर k का वैल्यू है ग्रेटर देन 0 एंड लेस देन 70.
What is the value of K? What is the value of K?
Greater than 0, sir, and second is less than greater than 0 and second less than 70.
Correct, correct. So K should be greater than 0 and it should be less than 70. Correct. Okay. So first part is over. Okay. So we'll move to the second part now. Now next, for the next part, check if for K equal to 1, all these roots of the characteristic equation of the above system having damping factor greater than 0.5. We need to calculate this. So how to calculate this one? So when K equal to 1, so let us say K equal to 1. So what should be the characteristic equation? So we'll substitute simply in this characteristic equation K equal to 1. So we'll substitute here K equal to 1. So what we are getting? We are getting s cube plus 10s square plus 22s plus 13 equal to 0. Okay. Now we need to factorize this thing. So we need to factorize this cubic term. We need to factorize. Okay. So the roots are minus 7.2, minus 1.745, minus 1.0535. Okay. Now, since all the roots are real and negative, therefore all the roots lie on the negative real axis. So what we are getting, these all roots are negative. It is a real value and it is lying on the negative part of the real axis. Okay. So damping factor, it is calculated as cos of theta. Okay. So what will happen? Cos of theta. What is theta? Theta is basically angle. Now, how to calculate this angle? So how to calculate? So let us say this is the case. Okay. So your roots are lying on this. Sorry. So all roots are lying on this negative real axis. Okay. These all roots are lying here. Okay. So angle always it is calculated So theta is basically this one. So roots are lying here. So this is your theta. So what is the value of theta then? Theta
180 degree.
180 degree, correct. So if it is theta is 180 degree, theta is 180 degree. So that means now this cos theta is 180 degree. So cos 180 degree, that means it is 1. Okay. So here cos 180 degree, obviously it is -1, but for this damping factor, we'll take the modulus of that. That means it should be +1. Okay. So any doubt on this problem? Any difficulty? Any difficulty? Okay, fine. Next example, a feedback system has an open loop transfer function GSHS equal to K into e to the power minus s by s into s square plus 5s plus 9. Determine by use of Raoult criteria the maximum value of K for the closed loop system to be stable. So we need to calculate what should be the value of K. Now this kind of thing e to the power minus s something it will be given. Okay. So again your process is same. Process is same. So what you will do, you will first form the characteristic equation. Characteristic equation is 1 plus GSHS equal to 0. So 1 plus GSHS equal to 0 means you will substitute this value, that is K into e to the power minus s by s into s square plus 5s plus 9. You will substitute this. But here, one thing you have to remember, for the low frequencies, e to the power minus s equal to 1 minus s. So if you can remember the exponential series in your class 12 level, there is a exponential series. Okay, so exponential series, it is 1 minus s plus s square by factorial 2, something like that, that will be there. But for the low frequencies, we'll take 1 minus s. So what we'll do, we'll simply substitute GSHS equal to K into 1 minus s. So we'll form the characteristic equation and then we'll calculate basically the range. So let us calculate this thing. Okay, so you calculate.
Sir, K greater than 0, less than 7.5. Yes, sir, same answer.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so K is
Greater than 0, less than 7.5.
okay. Okay, very good, very good. You have got it. Okay. Now next, there are certain numerical problem. It is given by means of Raoult criteria. Determine the stability of the system represented by the following characteristic equation. For systems found to be unstable, determine the number of roots of the characteristic equation in the right half of the S plane. Okay, so there are certain characteristic equation it is given. Okay, so you just calculate for these cases for A, B, C. You calculate whether the system is stable or it is unstable, or if it is unstable, how many roots are lying on the right half of the S plane. So I think this is the basically end of this particular chapter. Almost we are done, but there are some numerical problems are there. Please try with this problem. At least first problem you solve, and then second and third you can solve in the later on. Okay, first problem please try.
Sir, is stable.
Sir, is stable.
Sir, first one is stable, sir. Sir?
Hello. How much? So the system is stable, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next, you try for the second and third. Second and third, please try.
Sir, second one is unstable, sir.
Second one is unstable.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Third one. Third one. Please try.
Third one is, sir, is stable.
Third one is stable. So are you getting this thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. So the next problem, determine the range of values of k such that the characteristic equation, this one, has roots more negative than s equal to -1. Okay. So, so what you will do in this case, here it is written that these roots are more negative than s equal to -1. So what has to be done? This s should be equal to z minus 1. We need to substitute s equal to z minus 1 in the characteristic equation. Then you need to form the Routh array in terms of z. Okay. Then you need to calculate the stability. Let us calculate this one. Okay. So here roots are more negative than s equal to -1. That means your all roots are lying which is greater than s equal to -1. So in this case, we need a substitution method. So s will be equal to z minus 1. So in this equation, you substitute s equal to z minus 1, form the Routh array, and from that you calculate what is the range of values of k. Okay, please do it.
Sir, k lies between infinity to 0.53.
Okay, correct. Correct. It should be between infinity to 0.53. Correct. Very good. Very good. So next numerical problem, it is the characteristic equation of the feedback control system. It is s to the power 4 plus 20 s cube plus 15 s square plus 2s plus k equal to 0. Determine the range of k for the systems to be stable. Okay, so you first determine this value. What should be the value of k for this case, first case, to calculate?
Sir, K lies between 0 to 1.5.
1.5 beta, it should, okay.
Yes, sir, 1.49.
Very good.
Sir, that's 1.49.
Correct. It is correct. No issue. Now, next part is, can the system be marginally stable? If so, find the required value of K and the frequency of sustained oscillation. So I think this is, again, you can solve. You will take K equal to 1.49 and then you will substitute. And then from that, you will calculate what will be the value of the frequency of sustained oscillation. Okay. So please calculate this one, the second part.
Sir, S equal to 0.31.
Sir, S equal to plus minus J 0.316.
Okay. ठीक है, correct beta. Is correct. So next problem, the characteristic equation for this, it is given. You need to calculate what should be the value of range of K. Calculate this one. Very good. I think you have learned this Rautharu stability because you are able to solve it. So proceed with this problem.
Sir, K lies between 0 to 36.
Okay, I think it's correct. It's correct. Very good. Very good. So I think this is over for this Routh-Harvey stability criteria. We'll now start with some new topic. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Stability analysis using root locus. So this Routh-Harvey stability criteria, it is over. Okay, so we have completed that particular first chapter under this particular module. Now next is the stability analysis using root locus. Now first of all, we need to understand what is the meaning of this root locus. Okay, so from the name it is clear that root, just there are two terms. One is root, second term is locus. So we know what is the roots, because what we know that what are the various components of the any transfer function. There are poles and there are zeros. Okay, so there is a characteristic equation. If we solve those characteristic equation, then we'll get the roots. Okay, now those roots, how they are moving in the S-plane. Okay, how their locus is moving. What is locus? Locus is, see, I think in your 11, 12 also you have solved a chapter on the mathematical function and there how to find out the locus of that particular function. So similarly here also, if let us say any roots are lying. So if you have a, let us say, characteristic equation, and from that characteristic equation you have calculated the roots. So how the roots are moving in the S-plane. So basically that we can determine with the help of root locus. So definitely if we are actually calculating, or if we are locating this thing with the help of root locus, okay, So we have a definite objective to calculate the stability of the system. Okay. So how it is done, what is the methodology, we'll study in detail. Okay. So root locus, it is a graphical method in which roots of the characteristic equations are plotted in the S-plane for the different values of parameter. So this is very, very important. It is basically a graphical method, and here we are basically the roots are of the characteristic equation. It is plotted in the S-plane for different values of the parameter. So your k is variable, the gain is variable. So let us say k equal to 5. For that, if you plot the root locus, and if k equal to 10, obviously the roots will be different. Yes or no? If let us say in a characteristic equation, let us say a transfer function is there and you have a gain is k. Now gain k is variable. Okay. So you will have a characteristic equation which is basically this function of k. Now if you vary k, so do you agree the roots will change? The roots will not be same? Yes or no? First you understand this point. Is it clear whatever I am telling?
Sir, repeat once.
Yeah. Suppose you have a characteristic equation, let us say 1 plus this, let us say GS, this is HS equal to 0. This is the characteristic equation we know. Now GSHS, obviously it has a parameter of k. Okay. So this your equation will be k plus something k into something. This will be a function of k. Yes or no? Because GSHS it is something.
Yes, sir.
It is k into s plus 1. This will be let us say s into s square plus 2s plus 5. For example, I am taking a arbitrary value. Now, if you vary this k, so what will happen? This characteristic equation will change. So if the characteristic equation will change, the roots will change.
Yes, sir.
Roots will change. So roots will change means the locus
Will change.
locus will change. So basically, when we are varying this value of k, so what will happen? Basically, your locus gets changed. Okay. So how this locus is basically changing, so we'll study in detail. Okay, what is the path and how it is moving in the S-plane. So we'll study in detail. So the locus of the roots of the characteristic equation is defined as and when gain is varied from 0 to infinity is called the root locus. So you will vary the value of k from 0 to infinity. You will vary that, and you will see, you will observe how this locus is moving in the S-plane. Okay, so that is our objective. So let us say a closed loop control system, it is given, RS is your input, and you have a, let us say, this is your open loop transfer function, k by s into s plus 2, and your unity feedback is 1. So the characteristic equation is 1 plus GSHS equal to 0. So GS equal to k by s into s plus 2, HS equal to 1. So 1 plus GSHS equal to this one. So as this is s square plus 2s plus k equal to 0. So now what we'll do, we'll calculate the roots of this particular equation. So let us say there are two roots because this is a quadratic equation. So obviously there are two roots. So -1 plus root over of 1 minus k, and s2 equal to -1 minus root over of 1 minus k. So if you vary this k, the roots will give the loci in the S. So obviously, if you vary this k, S1 and S2 will change. Now this S1 and S2 will change. That means for different values of k, you will have a set of locus. Okay, set of locus will be formed. For various values of k, the location of the roots are when 0 less than k less than 1. So that means k is less than 1. So k is less than 1 means the roots will be real because this will be positive. This will be also positive. So your roots will be real and it will be distinct. Now when k equal to 0, this is 0. What will happen? The roots are S1 equal to 0 and S2 equal to -2. So these are basically your open loop poles. These are also real values. Now when k equal to 1, both roots are real and equal. So if k equal to 1, this will be 0. So both roots will be -1. So they will be real and equal. Now when k greater than 1, what will happen? K greater than 1 means this is imaginary and this is also imaginary. So the roots are complex conjugate with the real part -1. So real part is -1, but it will be a complex conjugate in nature. So ultimately, we are getting that when we are varying k, the roots are varying. So when k is varying, the root locus, it is how the roots are moving. You see, when k equal to 0, this is -2. When k equal to 1, it is -1. But when k greater than 1, this is the complex conjugate roots are lying. Okay. When k equal to 0, it is at origin. And k in infinity, that means k minus infinity and plus infinity. So this is the roots will be moving here and there. So that means you see in the S plane, how the roots are moving, it depends on the values of k. So depending upon the values of k, the roots are moving in the S plane. So when k is varying, the locus shown is, it is formed, it is in the figure. So k is 0. There are two branches of the root locus starts from S equal to 0 and S equal to -2. So this thing you need to understand that in root locus always you remember the roots, the locus will always originate from poles and it will be terminated at zeros. So locus will always, it will originate from poles and it will terminate on zeros. When k equal to 1, both roots meet at s equal to -1. Okay, so this thing will come in detail. Okay, so that means you see what will happen when k equal to 1, okay, k equal to 1, let us come to this point. So k equal to 1 means both the roots are real and equal. Okay, so both the roots are real and equal means what will happen, k equal to 1. So there are these two locus will be basically originated and it will meet at this point. Okay, so when k greater than 1, the roots break away from the real axis and become complex conjugate. So you see k equal to 1 means it is lying here. Now when k greater than 1, the roots will move this direction. One will move in the positive direction and another will move in the negative direction. So basically we would like to mean the main thing is when k is 0, it is here, one pole is here, another pole is here. Now when k equal to 1, this will be, these roots will move to this point. Okay, they are moving at this particular point, roots are lying here. Now when k greater than 1, it is moving in the opposite direction, that is, it is in the complex conjugate in nature. And finally, it will move in the as a k plus infinity and k minus infinity. So that is the basically how the roots are moving in the S plane. Okay. So any doubt up to this point? Any doubt? Anyone has any doubt? Please tell me. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll discuss these rules of construction of root locus in the next class. So now till that, just wait for, I will take your attendance now. Okay, thank you. We'll close this meeting. Thank you. We'll meet in the next class.